Test, test. Can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to call to order the Cottonwood Heights Architectural Review Commission meeting for July 16th, 2026. The meeting is also being broadcast electronically. Since we have some new members of the Architecture Review Commission, I'd like to go around the room and have both the members of the commission as well as staff introduce themselves. So my name is Scott Peters. I'm a landscape architect and I am the chair of the commission.
Here's Alan Tina, architect, retired. Take it easy.
I'm Nick Whitaker. I'm a city planner.
I'm Whitney Sansom. I'm a designer at an architectural studio.
MIT.
I'm Sydney, deputy city recorder. I'm Emma, planner for Cottonwood Heights.
Maverick is planner.
And then Jim Spung, I'm the Community and Economic Development Director. And then we also have Julie online. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm Jules and I'm a designer, a commercial designer.
Very good. And then if it's okay, if you guys just want to like take a couple minutes and just give us like a 1-minute version of what interests you, what your passions are, what drew you to the commission, and then kind of a little bit more about your background. So you want to start, Nate? Yeah.
So I got my master's degree in city and metropolitan let me start over. I got my master's degree in city and metropolitan planning from the University of Utah. What got me interested in planning was I worked in homeless services for over a decade and was very interested in designing cities that are equitable for all people, especially people with little to no income. I've worked as a planner in Harriman, Salt Lake City, and currently in Draper. I was interested in joining this commission because I live here and I love Cottonwood Heights. It's a really great place to raise a family and it's just a great place to live. It's really beautiful and I want to keep it that way and be part of designing it.
Great.
Yes, I'm Whitney Sansom. When I was in college, started working at the architecture office, residential, like luxury residential, and worked there for a number of years, and then started working for a general contractor, kind of working in the same with the same types of clients and projects. And now, like I said, I'm working in architecture again as an architectural designer, and so I have a lot of interest in architecture, in homes, and in our spaces. I grew up in Cottonwood Heights and recently moved back to Cottonwood Heights. So my husband actually saw the listing. He's like, you should do this. And it's like, think I should, and I've never done something like this before, so I'm really excited to be involved.
Cool. Welcome. Jules?
Yes, similar to what the others have said, I share a passion for architectural design and interior design. I recently left the firm I was working with and started my own interior design firm. And I've always worked in commercial design, and I just have a passion for, making spaces that people share great. And I just love Conwood Heights. I've lived in Conwood Heights for about 8 years, and I've lived in Utah for about 15 years, and was looking for a way to get involved in this. Just seemed like a great opportunity. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. We're super happy to have you on the commission. And then Douglas is also one of our new commissioners. He couldn't be here tonight, but he can introduce himself next time. He was a former planning commission member of the city about 5 years ago, and I believe works in real estate or retired real estate agent. So I'll let him give you the details on him. But anyway, welcome. Thanks, Scott.
Great, thank you very much. It's great to have all of you on the board. With that, we'll proceed to ex parte communications or conflicts of interest. Does anyone have any to disclose?
I probably should, maybe, I designed this building, we are actually putting a sign on, so maybe does that disqualify me?
I don't think it does.
Good.
As long as you're not involved with the current applicant in any
No.
way or had any conversations.
I just
with them,
want to
I'm
make sure it's gonna look good.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Great, thank you. So we'll proceed to item 2.0, business items. Item 2.1, project SPL 26-001, review and consideration of a request by Spencer Williams on behalf of On Record Title LLC for a certificate of design compliance for a new wall sign located at 1275 East Fort Union Boulevard. That I'll turn time over to staff to give us their staff report.
Okay, perfect. Let me just pull up my screen here really fast. Takes a second. There we go. Okay, perfect. So yeah, just as Scott mentioned, we're going to be reviewing SPL 26001. So that's going to be a wall sign for On Record Title at 1275 East Fort Union Boulevard, and that's Suite 210. I've included a satellite view of the subject property as well as indicating the approximate location of the wall sign. Again, this is going to be, they're just requesting a certificate of design compliance for the signage. The applicant Spencer Williams. So the wall sign is just a 21-foot by 2 foot 10 inches illuminated channel letter sign on Raceway, mounted to the building facade. The ORD, or Office Research and Development Zone, does permit wall signs provided that they comply with the size regulations outlined in City Code 1982-040. This section does require that the aggregate area of the wall signs displayed should not exceed 15% of the aggregate area of the wall. It's a very large building though, so this proposed sign would take up less than 4% of the aggregate wall area based on the calculations. Additionally, the sign will be illuminated with white LED lights. Here's just some renderings from the applicant of approximately what it would look like on the building, and then kind of a more detailed rendering right there. Then staff just did a quick analysis to see if it was consistent with the city's design guidelines for the Gateway Overlay District. We found that the sign does align with the sign guidelines for the Gateway Overlay District. Signs in this district should be in scale width and in proportion to the primary building facade so that signs do not dominate the appearance. As I mentioned, this proposed sign is going to be only 4% of the building facade, so it would not dominate the appearance and would be in proportion. Additionally, the sign's colors, materials, and design should be compatible with that of the primary facade. It seemed like it was in harmony with the primary facade. The white lettering and black aluminum show the sign clearly without feeling too out of place on the building. And then additionally, signs should reflect the type of business through design, shape, or graphic form when possible. This sign is just clear and professional, which is very fitting for a title company. And then I just wanted to go over the ARC procedure and authority, especially since we have some new commissioners with us. So ARC is required to review new construction, including substantial alterations, which includes signs, for compliance with applicable design guidelines and compatibility with surrounding properties as required by section 1949-060 of the city code. I'm just going to glance over that really quick, but certificate of design compliance, a certificate of design compliance issued by the ARC shall be required before proceeding with any new development or changes to existing development in a gateway overlay district. No alteration of the existing condition of land, structures, signs, landscaping, or lighting, including without limitation, demolition of any structure, application of new exterior siding material, creation of a new window or dormer, creation of a driveway or parking facility, construction of a deck, fence, or garage, or enclosure of a porch shall be permitted within the Gateway Overlay District except provided in this chapter. And then general review criteria, the ARC must determine following general review criteria are met before issuing a certificate of design compliance, so that the proposed work must comply with the applicable design guidelines. The integrity of an individual historic structure is preserved if applicable. The design of new buildings or additions must be compatible with surrounding gateway properties, and the overall character of the Gateway Overlay District is protected. And so, yeah, staff, just based on the findings and analysis presented here, staff recommends approving project SPL 26001. And there's the model motions.
Thank you.
That's it.
Any questions from the commission? Any discussion?
I have one question. You said the sign is, it was lighting?
Yeah, it looks like it's channel lit. Yeah, it's a channel lit sign, so it would be, I guess you'd be able to see it at nighttime, basically.
Forgive me since it's my first time, but
Yeah.
does the city have any ordinance regarding foot candles or lighting standards, after hour lighting or anything like that that needs to be taken into consideration?
That's a good question.
Do you know much about how the outdoor lighting relates to signage?
Yeah, we just use kind of same like if it is located in the commercial, I'm just gonna need to follow the commercial lighting standard like the Lumen and Kelvin, those kind of hour
Should I
things.
pull that up really fast? I can
Yeah.
pull it up so you can review it. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, residential have a dark sky lumen level.
Yeah, because
I
that's what
don't
we
know,
work with.
commercial haven't the same.
Their Kelvin is allowed to a little bit higher than the residential's one. Yeah,
Because they're commercial.
Yeah,
And are they required to have an after hours, and business hours, lighting plan, or is it just a standard?
I don't think there's a limit on
Okay.
timing or anything. It's just the brightness, intensity, and the Kelvin measures.
Yeah, I think there's recommendations, so this is the code for, oh, never mind, it's not showing here, wait 1 second. Wait,
you
what?
can just stop share.
Oh.
PowerPoint.
Thank
Share
you,
the-
1 second. Don't often have to switch tabs. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so I pulled up the lighting standards for other zones. So like what you're saying with the timing, so we have a recommendation to have them turn off, just says should consider installing controls, so it's not a requirement. Let's see. And then we do have total site illumination. I would doubt that the total site illumination would exceed, let's see, this is. I would be doubtful it'd exceed the lumen requirement. But yes, we do have some foot candle requirements there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the commission allowed to make any type of condition?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it would be okay to do a condition that they provide some type of a lighting, geez, it escapes my mind.
Lighting.
Yeah,
turn it
Calculation.
off, I
Like
mean,
a
to,
photometric.
the photometric, there we go, thank you.
Photometric.
Yeah, photometric plan, just to make sure that that we're not exceeding what is allowed.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
That seems like a good idea.
I was just checking, make sure it's not already in here. I guess it just lists that it will be white LEDs.
What I would recommend is a motion is that we require them to meet the lighting standards and requirements.
Okay.
And as part of that, they need to demonstrate that they are meeting those, which would require some kind of a photometric plan.
Okay.
That way, we're not saying, oh, you have to
Yeah.
have more with your submittal. All you were saying is that they have to meet the requirements, and then staff can review that
Okay.
and confirm it, and it doesn't have to come back to us.
Okay. I like that. That plan's good.
Yeah, that would be great. I'll get that information for you guys.
Terrific. Any other questions or comments from the commission?
I mean, I think it's nice being in the center. However, is there gonna be another sign on that one day? I mean, or should it be, I hate to see another sign and then not being on one end or the other. How, do you have some kind of rules, though, about how many signs they can have on a building?
Yeah, so it's the wall sign need to follow all the kind of like the service area, like a percentage. So even the seconds in the future, if another company wanna add the signs, we will calculate the percentage include this one if it approved today. So the
Okay.
overall cannot over the required percentage, I think it's like 15%.
15%. So
For the whole
potentially
service
2 more signs, maybe
Yeah, I mean,
3
just,
additional.
Yeah,
I mean, how much are you gonna occupy of the building? Are you one floor, part of a floor,
The whole top.
the whole top floor? Oh,
On
well,
that
that
side.
tells you that, they're not gonna have another sign. That's good.
I would assume that they would put it like below on a lower level
Yeah.
or something like that
Okay.
if they were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
I have just a question for my knowledge, because I think so it's a 15% the aggregate wall area.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, like, what designates the change of the wall area? And maybe Niels can tell us, he's designed this house, or the structure, but it looks like the lower level is actually recessed from the upper. From the lower level windows, maybe like pushed back. So what is a wall area like when a plane changes? Or,
Generally, it's the entire facade
okay,
area. So if you do an elevation, it's the entire square footage of that elevation.
okay,
It's typically how it's measured.
even if the walls have.
Stones, does it define that in the code, Emma?
I'm looking to see if we've got exactly.
I also think we have some discretion if we feel like proportionally doesn't work on the architecture. It may meet that strict requirement, but that's why we're looking at it as well.
Let's try just looking. I'd say facade, see also signable area means the side of a building below the eaves. So it sounds like anything below the roof there.
That's a big number, 15%.
Huge number.
Yeah, it's pretty common for commercial properties.
Well, that's.
Everyone always asks for more.
Almost.
But this is also a really big building, right? So the
Yeah,
same rule would apply for like an inline commercial center where you've got a 30-foot wide tenant space.
Yeah,
They're still limited to the same percentage. Yeah.
So one of the concerns that I have is that they have a raceway that is behind the signs, and the lettering and logo don't fully cover that raceway. On the rendering, they've done a really nice job matching the color of the raceway to the brick on the building. But until you actually see the color they're proposing on the actual building, it may not look right. And so I would like to require that the raceway match the color of the brick on the building, as opposed to just a general color that is specified on the plan.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
that raceway is a metal box, I assume? with
Yeah, you can,
Some kind of painting,
you can, if you look closely, you can see it, but
yeah,
you see it here on this one more than anything.
yeah.
I
And,
mean, the other option would be to have them make a backup panel that covers the whole side of the sign. So that it looks like the text and everything is inside of that backup panel.
yeah,
And I've been going back and forth in my mind on which would be better.
I mean, and another one is, I mean, I don't mind that panel behind, but maybe even don't try to match because they were never totally matched because it's different material. Maybe
Yeah.
make it a little different in color.
But I do
Either
think if you're gonna
lighter or
make it
darker.
different, I think it should be larger than the actual size of the sign.
Or you talking about this whole thing?
Well, see,
Well, I'm just talking about that box there,
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
but trying to make it,
I want this
Deliberately
to
another-
disappear is what I
oh,
want.
to disappear, yeah. Problem is, it won't.
It won't completely disappear because it's a different material. It'll have
Yeah.
a different texture. That's why getting the color right is so critical if you're gonna do it this way.
The raceway doesn't have any sort of illumination or anything.
So the purpose of the raceway, it doesn't illuminate at all, the purpose of the raceway is so that when the electrical letters get mounted to it. You basically drill a hole through the letters and then you're able to wire behind in that raceway and contain the wire.
Yeah,
And some buildings allow for it to go straight onto the wall and then be wired behind the wall. Unfortunately, this has limited access, and so they're stubbing a whip of power out to us, and then we decide to do.
So using the raceway, would it require you then to bore less holes into the?
Correct.
Okay.
Left holes, and then also allows for the wiring. Tied in, just all inside that raceway and only one wire to be punctured through the wall.
And it looks like it sets off like, I don't know,
2 inches.
is it 2 inches?
yeah, it's gonna read as a box.
Yeah,
I
well,
think it's a little deceptive maybe in here because it looks nice and clean,
it does.
so you won't, and so. I mean, Scott has a point, there's a big panel behind it, which I don't know is necessary or is that strip there emphasized as part of the design? By color and maybe even coming out a few inches more, so it's like it's a box. But it is maybe an offset color, not a color, it can be a little darker brown or a little lighter beige or something. Just enough to, because it always would be different, doesn't really show that much.
I think if they're gonna do the box, they should have, if they're gonna do it a different color, I think they should have it like box the whole thing,
Correct.
not,
Oh, yeah,
I don't think I think it makes it hard to read. And I think it's gonna look like it wasn't really thought through from a design perspective.
My concern about adding the box around the entire sign is it starts to fill the scale of the height of the
It
brick
does.
there. And so I feel like it feels maybe more balanced if it's not, doesn't have like an outside border that fits the whole text inside of it.
I mean, you could also do something where the whole sign is like, it's like it follows kind of the shape of the sign. You could do that too, but
yeah, I
It's-
mean, all
it's a
those
little-
letters,
it
you would
gets a
have to
little,
go from top to bottom of the letters and,
I think
it's,
it needs to be cleaner than anything.
I think I have a worry with, and using just across the street to the east, using this as an example. There's the wash tub, and I'm not sure if you've heard,
Can you bring up Google?
it's off of 1300 East, the sun sets so brutally along that intersection. And the wash tub sign it looks like somebody lit it on fire, and it looks like somebody needs to wash the sign, ironically, but I'm worried that if with that panel in the back, is it powder coated or is there something that would prevent that from corroding over time? Or being bleached or sun bleached or damaged by the sun?
Your warranty, as far as like chipping or fading or things like that. It is a urethane based paint, so it's not like just you know. It's not a cheap paint in that aspect, so it should last well. We can also add texture to it too, so, I mean, I can add texture to paints that make them look concrete, that make them look brickish, that make them look, you know what I mean, and so our intent usually is to match them.
So if the coating on that began to wear, that's then just the responsibility of the property owner to manage that, to reach out and use that warranty, or is that just something
Yeah,
that,
definitely.
okay? And is that something that code enforcement could enforce upon if they needed to?
Did you say you were looking for something to the east of this building?
Yes, I'm sorry, it was, there you go, it's right, just north of the Maverick there.
Oh,
We may have replaced the sign since then, but the wash tub right there. I live right over here, so I take my daughter on a walk over here, so I see it. Yeah, they've replaced it. This is a bad example.
2024, okay,
If
that's.
you actually go to click on see more dates, because actually this is something though that may be worth seeing.
See, that's.
Go down to like
It's gonna
2021 maybe.
That's,
Yeah.
I just, it's the detail of that raceway that really makes or breaks the sign. And if they can put a texture on it and a color and make it match the brick, I just have never
But
seen.
if you make it part of the design, I mean, it could even be deeper, I mean, it's obviously a beam or box. And letters hanging on it, or else it becomes this.
That's right. Now-
Which, you know,
I
it's
think,
not good,
are those letters? Are they
they're just.
set off?
That looks like just one flat line.
That's a bad example.
I flat down and.
No, but it shows that when it's a box,
Mhm.
big as the letters.
Yeah,
And it's kind of because it's kind of nice, it's a nice lettering and it's a nice logo and all that. And ought to try to preserve that it floats on its own.
And here's,
Look at the other.
I was gonna say, yeah.
St. Mark's, looks like probably has something similar to.
But even
They've done
a
that
smaller
right there.
box,
They have very
no,
similar.
you can't do that, can you? You can't make it smaller, because then they. They're not mounted.
And so does the way basket attachment, and also the biggest issue with this one, the way that it's shaped, is that you have all of those individual pieces on that logo.
Yeah,
So you wanna make sure you have attachment to the
yeah,
box.
yeah, yeah. Go back on the other sign on the other end. It's kind of what, yeah,
are those illuminated?
yeah, right there,
Yes.
it's,
There's
See,
St.
they've done a good job of matching the color.
see, what are they doing there?
Right, it looks like there's.
Same thing, but
They've got a full box. Their box is the full size.
It's actually not, it's individual. Boxes. It's like there's a row of, like a tube, basically that's hooking the star to the small letters. Just for
That's super
mounting, but the St. Mark's has. It's a separate. bracelet.
Well, they have the same problem, they do, it's the same idea, right, yeah. So it's gotta be 2 or 3 boxes.
So the box there matches the height of the lowercase letters. See, it's a little bit more disguised. Which this one also shows. Well, I guess it could be widened a little bit to match the height of the letters.
That,
Um,
That might be the best solution. That's what I would. Does it need to extend all the way to the end? Might be.
We could pull it in just a
Cut it
little
off.
bit on the east side. On,
The east, yeah,
on the logo side,
You're
like.
making
come
it
out to the
controlled
edge,
by
because
theirs.
you
I'm
have
making
a-
it controlled by that.
Oh, you down there.
Yeah, this is what I drew originally, but I like the suggestion of just making it the width. And then these other parts, you know, you could have this
Oh, yeah.
cut off at the middle of the E and you could have this one cut off in the center of the circle.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Well, we try to combine the two and either you make the letters float. You know, or you make them part of the box. I think the strength of it is that they're just floating alone. And then just. Make the box kind of disappear as much as we can. But it's like there, it will show up, you know, differently in color. There's kind of a lighter brown against the red there. And that's gonna happen.
But I also think if it's pretty close, I mean, if it matches. It will kind of disappear, but I think if you can avoid those shadow lines and things.
You mean from coming off of the letters above and below the
I'm
The raceway.
about the shadow line of the box.
Yeah, that's quite a shadow. How big is that box? The sun must be just.
It's
Straight up.
Just surrounding down to the east.
Yeah, well. Okay.
All right,
everyone,
any other comments or discussion? So I think what I've heard is that we would like a motion to approve it based on with the following stipulations. One is that they meet the lighting requirements and the recommendations, including the outdoor lighting requirements and the dark sky requirements. And if that, and have them submit whatever is necessary for staff to be able to review and approve that. And then I think the second stipulation, what I would like to see is that they, that the raceway be required to match the color of the building. And I would recommend, I can't make the motion. So I would recommend that the raceway match the height of the lowercase letters, like the O or the R, and that it not extend beyond the center of the, well, I'm not gonna go that far, but not extend beyond the E and not extend beyond the center circle of the logo. That would be my recommendation. But one of you needs to make the motion.
I can make that motion if you help me put that into words.
Just say, so moved.
Okay. And I make the motion to approve, based off of. Oh, let's see.
You want me to help you?
Yeah, we need it.
So one is lighting.
Okay, so that the lighting, meet the city requirements, the lighting, that the applicant provide a lighting plan that meets the requirement. A photometric plan, yeah, a photometric plan that meets the lighting requirements, including the night sky requirements. Set forth by the city. And that the raceway, this is, I need to know about this, that the design of the raceway.
I would say, I'll let you decide, but the color matches the building.
Okay.
And that you need to decide whether you want them to make it a texture or not.
Okay. And that the design of the raceway, that it matches the color of the building. And, that it is. I don't know,
Do you want a texture to look like brick, or do you want it not? The advantage of having it textured is it's not gonna reflect like a flat
Sure.
metal will.
okay,
You're shaking your head.
No, we're getting way in the weeds. It's a box, it's made out of metal with a powder coating over it. And that will last forever and I would say make it to match the color. But maybe it's slightly a darker hue, so, and flat paint. It would be not shiny, it would be a flat paint, but so it won't shine. And the box will be at the height of the letters, not the logo, but the letters. Right.
Yeah, and I would say, not the T and the L, but all of the other smaller letters.
Yeah,
okay. So then but the raceway. Is, that the color matches the.
just use, they heard mine, just add it to it. And
Then I would add that to the motion as well.
then-
Hey,
Yeah, no, it's, we can put it together like that, yeah.
okay, we have a motion. The motion is that they meet the lighting requirements and that the raceway be the same color as the building with the height of the O, the N, the R, et cetera. And it be painted to match the color of the building with maybe a slightly darker hue. And that it is a matte finish with paint, and that it's, I heard you say powder coated. She said that they typically use paint, not
To
powder
send it
coat.
out to a different
You
distributor.
just paint it with an oil-based paint or something?
It's not oil based, no, it's an urethane based, and so it's a hardened paint.
Okay,
So it's like a powder coated.
okay, yeah.
I-
But a matte color,
I think that's fine. So are you good with all that in your motion?
Yeah, so then it's just so the mat is out. I mean, I'm sorry, not the mat, the powder coating is out. It's just whatever the,
It would be like a matte finish.
okay.
A matte finish.
Okay,
Instead of polyurethane.
and that has a 10-year.
Hard.
It
paint.
hardens, it's
Yeah.
it's a chemically dry,
yeah, okay.
Okay,
it's like a automotive paint, basically.
Yeah, perfect.
then I finally got the motion done.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'm unfamiliar with how this all works.
Just say, I second the motion.
My second motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Well, put you on the hot seat.
Sure.
Did she
You're
vote?
in here now.
I did, yeah, I said aye.
Okay.
Great, thank you. The vote is unanimous. So with that, we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the consent agenda for approval of the minutes. So I need a motion to approve the minutes as described or written on the agenda.
I move so, and we approve as provided to report back on it.
Great. So we have a motion to approve the minutes as written on the agenda, following the procedure written on the agenda. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. With that, is there any other business that we need to discuss? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, that's good, that's an easy one.
Are you gonna do that?
Of course.
Okay, we have a motion from Nils to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Looks like it's unanimous.